Your issues, your stories, and the headlines that should matter to you. That's our promise on Citizen Reporter, the show that empowers you to demand action. Hello and welcome. I am Kavita Krishnan. Joining me on the show today are Sharad Kumar, trustee of Agni, and Sapna Karim of Janagre. This, of course, is a show which is powered by the Times of India Citizen Reporter app. Our focus today is encroachment. Welcome both of you to this show. Both of our experts today bring with them a wealth of experience in public activism, and they are going to show you just how you can take charge and just how you can demand action for all the problems that you have got in touch with us, with all the videos that you've sent in. We'll begin with a citizen report that has come in from the national capital. Now, New Delhi has been grappling with the problems of dengue and malaria for years now. While governments claim that they're doing everything possible to rid the city of the mosquito menace, this report that Narendra Kumar, our citizen reporter, sent in proves otherwise. Take a look at this story that Narendra Kumar sent us from North Delhi's Burari area.
इस समय हम मौजूद हैं बुराड़ी विधानसभा के बाद कादीपुर वार्ड नंबर 6 के गांव नथुपुरा में, जहां लोग नरक के जीवन जीने को मजबूर हुए हैं। समस्याएं इतनी ज़्यादा हैं, नालियां भरी हुई हैं, नालियों पर इतना कूड़ा भरा हुआ है, मच्छर पैदा हो रखे हैं। आप देख सकते हैं, आपको दिखाया जा रहा है, मच्छर इतने ज़्यादा हैं। इस मच्छर से डेंगू और मलेरिया फैलने के लगातार चांस बने हुए हैं। इसी से लार्वा फैलता है, इस लार्वे से मच्छर पैदा होता है, जो मच्छर डेंगू और मलेरिया का रूप धारण करता है। शासन प्रशासन को कई बार शिकायतें भी की गई, पर लगता है शासन प्रशासन कोई बड़े हादसे का इंतजार कर रहा है। बीमारियां फैली हुई हैं, डेंगू फैला हुआ है, मलेरिया फैला हुआ है, और शायद इस गरीब जनता की, इस गांव की, इस क्षेत्र की कोई सुनने वाला नहीं है। पार्षद बदले, नेता बदले, पर नहीं बदला तो नथुपुरा का बुरा हाल। अब शायद प्रशासन इस बात का इंतजार कर रहा है कि कोई बड़ा हादसा हो, तब जाकर इन नालियों की सफाई हो, इन मच्छरों पर रोकथाम लगे और इन बीमारियों से इस क्षेत्र को निजात मिल सके।
That's a very pertinent problem that he's raising over there, and his remark says it all. बादशाह बदले, नेता बदले, लेकिन शहर का हाल नहीं बदला है. And in fact, let me start with you, Sharad. This is one of the problems that the Delhi government made. The Delhi Municipal Corporation elections that we just went through, we saw that these were one of the planks that the different parties were raising. This is also something that the AAP government has been talking about, but nothing's happened on ground.
Well, I think this encroachment problem has been there all over the country. Most of the cities have it.
The specific garbage issue,
and unfortunately, the local area authority don't handle them so easily, and even after complaining and all that. Oh yeah, only one thing I would like to specifically mention here is the ward officer from F North, ward office from F North, the police from Son did a very wonderful job of removing the encroachments on the Entopil bridge. The police were there for some time, but now after a couple of months, they are all back to square one.
Right, Sharad. We'll talk about encroachments, but this is largely a garbage issue. If I can bring you in, Sapna, over here. Now, the governments have been promising action. This is the government and the municipal corporations in Delhi, but like Narendra just showed us, in Burari, nothing has really happened. How can citizens get their area cleaned up?
One of the things, while there is a lack of planning and implementation in this, Kavita, the important thing is to bring people together and actually raise the voice of the citizen. There is really no other way to bring attention to issues like this, which are very time bound, which are critical and which actually cause, ill health and disease. So it means it has to be raised in writing. If it means a group of citizens have to go up to their ward officers and actually request that they get this done, understand the kind of monies that are available to help clean the area, all of this has to happen from the citizens' end. Of course, the best thing would be that the authorities just manage their cities effectively, but that is still some time away. So in the interim, I think it's important that citizens come together to keep pushing the system. There is really no other way, and we cannot wake up, when things are really at the peak, of disaster to kind of address these issues. So So I would only suggest that they keep the pressure up, they go back and demand that action be taken, immediately, so that no more lives, no health is actually going to go bad further.
Right, so essentially you need to take action, and of course the agencies that you will need to get in touch with. Sharad Kumar, if you could just take us through very quickly, if you're talking about garbage problems, garbage piling up in your area, you get in touch with the Solid Waste Management Department. Is that whom you get in touch with?
Yes, we have to get in touch with the solid waste management of the ward and try and get it acted upon. Otherwise, the garbage will remain and the stench will
No, but how, when you say get it acted upon, what do you do? Take us through the steps. Do you write to them? Do you take photographs and send it to them? Do you approach them like Sapna pointed out as a group? How is this done?
No, in fact, every area has also got supervisors. Of course, you should have the telephone numbers of the supervisors. And if you telephone them, they act immediately. So I have been able to manage that, that the garbage is removed immediately by contacting the supervisor who is on the job at the local area. Whereas if you contact the ward office also, they in turn have to come contact the supervisor. So if you are in touch with the supervisor of the local area, I think the action is faster.
Right. तो नरेंद्र कुमार, आपने जो सवाल, जो वीडियो हमें भेजा था, जो रिपोर्ट हमें भेजा था, उसका जवाब ये है कि आपको खुद जिम्मेदारी उठाना पड़ेगा यहाँ पर। आपके जो लोकेलिटी में आपके साथ जो रहने वाले लोग हैं, उनको भी आप इन्वॉल्व करें और पता लगाए कि सुपरवाइज़र कौन है, क्योंकि आपसे बात करने वाला ऑफिसर वही है। सुपरवाइज़र को कांटेक्ट कीजिए और उनके साथ लगातार फॉलो अप करें और ध्यान रखिए कि गार्बेज कब कलेक्ट होता है आपके एरिया में और उसे ट्रैक करें। जिस दिन गार्बेज कलेक्ट नहीं होता है उस दिन सुपरवाइज़र को फ़ोन करें, वार्ड ऑफिसर को फ़ोन करें। जितना आप प्रेशर लगाएंगे उतना जल्दी आपका एरिया जो है साफ होगा। Moving on now to the focus of Citizen Reporter today, and that of course is the rising cases of encroachments that are being reported from cities across the country. And if you look at the stories that our reporters have sent in, it is not just a one city problem. There it is on your screen. Stories that have come in from Bengaluru, from Chennai and from Mumbai. And let us also tell you what we are putting out on the screen today. Because of time constraints, maybe probably one city, one story from every city, but we've actually got more than one. We've got multiple stories from all of these cities and also from a number of other cities across the country. Let's take you straight to the story sent in by citizen reporter NAREN from Bengaluru.
We have been living in the city for last 25 years and I've seen the Bangalore deteriorate from a garden city to a garbage city only because of encroachment. Today, we do not have proper park because it's encroached. We do not have playgrounds which is being encroached. And in fact, we do not even have a proper footpath because it's being encroached. Encroachment lobby has taken away. We had 600 lakes. Today we have 200 odd lakes only, all because of encroachment. Places where there used to be lakes, there are buildings now. Now, we feel we have been deprived of the open space, of the lung space. We have so much of pollution, so much of traffic, all because of encroachment. And recently, due to the rain, there was so much of flooding, only because the stormwater drains are encroached. Now, and irony is, it is the BBMP or it is the civic bodies who are also involved in encroachment. So, I don't know where the Bangalore is going to go. We want a clean and neat city without encroachments. This is Naren reporting for Mirror Now from Bengaluru.
In fact, this is not the only report that we got from Bangalore. We also got another story by citizen reporter Satish from Bengaluru. Let's quickly take a look at that.
Bangalore has been encroached by a lot of people. There are street vendors who have encroached the footpaths. Stormwater drains have been encroached, and even the roads are not being covered by the footpath, and that's the reason the recent Bangalore rains caused a lot of flooding, and we really want Bangalore to be encroachment free. This is Satish reporting for Mirror Now from Bangalore.
Two stories, both from Bengaluru. Sapna, let me bring you in. It is your backyard, in fact. And we did see a few hours of rain recently brought Bangalore to its knees. What can these citizens do? Who do they get in touch with?
Yeah, Kavita, I just want to step back and also just lay out a broader, framework in which we should look at this, and then also end with what the citizen can do. The reason why we see, the infrastructure falling apart, flooding, and every time there is a little bit of rain and we see the city actually coming down to its knees, is because we are unable to prepare good spatial development plans. We're unable to implement them well and enforce them well. And when we don't do these things, and government has to take ownership to actually make this happen, what we end up seeing is that there is encroachment on land. You're not clear as to where the stormwater drain is. There are buildings on lakes, because everything is taken up by land. Whether it's a land mafia, whether it is builders that are building without proper paperwork. You end up going and getting building licenses and plans for areas where there actually may not be required that we have buildings. But all of this is because we are not able to implement proper futuristic plans which take care of everybody. So which takes care of the citizen, which takes care of people who want to earn livelihoods, which actually plans very well as to how the water should actually drain away when there is rain, and how often will there be desilting of stormwater drains, desilting of roadside drains, how quickly and efficiently should garbage actually be cleared. All of this actually stems from the preparation, implementation and enforcement of good and effective plans. In the lack of this, what we really see today is the last mile problem, which is the fact that because of none of this happening upstream, you have broken down infrastructure, you have garbage piling up on the streets, you have every time there is rain, everything gets blocked and flooded, and the citizens face the difficulties of having, or rather lack of having, a great quality of life. But having said this, it is important that each one of us as citizens continue to complain, continue to pick up these issues, raise our voice when we see things not working, use any forum that is available. It could be the ward officer, it could be online forums, it could be complaint numbers that we can reach out to. We at Janagraha run a platform called ichangemycity.com where citizens can actually post complaints and where it is rerouted to all agencies in the city. But all of this has to come together for enough pressure, awareness that has to come from the citizen to make something like this.
Sapna, if you could, I'm sorry to cut you off over there, but if you could tell us specifically which is the body in Bengaluru that you need to complain to, which is the officer, which is the department that...
Sure. Right. So in every ward you will have ward officers, you have engineers, you have health inspectors who are responsible for clearing garbage, who are responsible for running an effective pickup schedule on a weekly basis. So there are health inspectors in the ward, and depending on the ward that you're living in, if you go onto the site online, either the BBMP or ichangemycity.com, you will actually get phone numbers, names and contact information, including addresses of ward offices, where you can reach out to the engineers that are responsible for this.
What about encroachment,
that
Sapna?
People come together and post this.
Sapna, what about encroachment?
When it comes to encroachment, yeah, encroachments, it will have to be, you can raise complaints. You raise complaints to the, and depending on the kind of encroachment that is there. So there is the engineering department, there is the building, the department that actually sanctions building plans. There is the revenue department where you can raise an issue of that there are violations, on the plan itself. It also, Kavita, I must say, depends on the kind of encroachment. If there are encroachments, for example, on footpaths, which is anyway property that the BBMP, has to manage, right? If there is encroachment on, public land, it could be a park, it could be a playground, then the horticulture department of the BBMP manages the parks and the playgrounds, and the complaints can actually be directed to the inspectors and the officers and the engineers in the horticulture and the department itself. So depending on the kind of encroachment, there would be different areas that different departments that one would actually have to reach out to. But the important thing is actually to raise that as a complaint, to raise it as an issue that the engineer can respond to, whether they are in the horticulture department, whether they are in the engineering department, or in the departments that actually sanctions all the plans and building plans and so on.
Right, so essentially those are the departments that you should be getting in touch with and raising the issue. You need to identify which department that particular area belongs to, which has been encroached upon, and then raise the issue. We are running on our screens helpline numbers. We are also running the portals where you can register complaints. Of course, it goes without saying, you should know who's your ward officer. You should know where's your ward office. You should get in touch with your ward officer. And also, follow up with your corporator, involve your corporator in this. This is the reason why we are voting corporators into power. They are our via media, they are our voice in the government. Ensure that they know you've made this complaint and keep following up. Very important. Sharad, before I come to you, let me quickly run two Citizen Reporter stories that have come in from Chennai. These have come in from Jayaram and Shankaran. And interestingly, both of them have picked T Nagar to report from. Let's look at that.
I am Jayaram in T Nagar. Though this is named T Nagar, we residents call it as Encroachment Nagar because they are full of encroachment. The encroachment has been rising on a daily basis. Despite our complaints to authorities, there has been no action. And the last time there was a fire accident in Usman Road, but it happened during night. If it had happened in the daytime, there would have been casualties. Casualties will be more. So, despite requests to various authorities, there has been no action. Unless this is removed, there will be accident taking place. In case of fire accident taking place, if there are encroachment, there will be casualties. This is what, and during festival time, the Pongal or Diwali, it will be a disaster. So there is a danger of taking. There will be heavy casualties in case action is not taken. It is time. It is high time the authorities acted.
We are in T Nagar now. Actually, strictly speaking, this area is already congested and people are taking advantage of unauthorized places and making encroachments, which restricts our movements in the city. Actually, 2 months before, we have seen Chennai Silks fire accident, wherein the people are unable to move out of the place and strictly speaking, all the shops were closed at that time. Due to this encroachment, lot of problems we are facing in the corporation area. Hence, it is not desirable for encouraging that encroachments. The corporation has to take strict actions against that and do the needful for public convenience.
Right. In fact, we have more of those queries coming in, and we have queries coming in from Kolkata, where Dibya says people who are encroaching end up hitting us or abusing us. Who do we approach? Lucknow, John writes in saying that encroachments are very common over here, and the officials also are involved. What can we do as citizens? Sharad, we are running out of time on the show. Very quickly, if you have an encroachment problem, who do you get in touch with? Which are the agencies? How do you follow up on these complaints?
Well, every ward office has an encroachment department, and we have got to get in touch. Basically, it is responsibilities with us to see that we contact them and get the work done. But unfortunately, what happens is after the encroachment is removed, after some time they are all back to square one. So with the result, the footpaths are rarely available for the pedestrians to walk.
So then how do we ensure that it doesn't happen? Ensure that you don't go back to square one?
Unfortunately, I don't think there is any, unless the accountability is there by the municipal corporation.
Which means you have to demand accountability as citizens. You have to keep
that's right.
going back to them.
That is where we need to be after the encroachment department of the ward, and then and keep a rapport. With the result, once the relationship is maintained, once you give a call, I mean, they should be able to do it because of the relationship. So constant being in touch with them is a thing I think which would help much better.
Right. So constant pressure on your civic officials. Keep following up. Every time you see an encroachment, call them up and ensure that it's cleared. Sapna Karim, like a couple of other people pointed out on email, some of our reporters, that civic officials are very often involved. Also, people, when they complain, are at the receiving end of threats and abuses. What can you do then?
I think irrespective of who is involved, whether it is a BBMP or whether it is civic officials or any other municipal official, I think we need to play our role as citizens. So we continue to raise it when we see it, being encroached. If there are issues, we raise it to the right department. Because the system has to ultimately work, and the system will only work if all stakeholders are actually playing their part. Some may not be doing it right, but doesn't matter. I think as citizens, we should just go ahead and continue to keep the pressure up, so that in good time we will actually see better enforcement of the plans that are currently being prepared.
Stay with us. Time for a quick break on Citizen Reporter. We'll be back with more questions from our Citizen Reporter right after this break. Welcome back. We are still discussing encroachments on Citizen Reporter. We will take a look at two stories that have come in from our Citizen Reporters in Mumbai. And after we come back, our experts will tell us how to make a complaint, how to follow up. Akshay Chavan's complaint up next on your screens, followed by another complaint that we have received from Mumbai.
Right now we are standing at Malad, and you can see behind me there's a tempo being parked over there, and it's not a place of parking, but it is parked because it's a vegetable market. यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हैं कितने सारे हॉकर्स लाइन से बैठते हैं सब्जियाँ लेकर, ये लेकर वो लेकर, जिसकी वजह से काफ़ी ज़्यादा ट्रैफिक हो जाता है। ये जो सड़क है ऑलरेडी काफ़ी छोटी है, और उसके ऊपर से फिर यहाँ पर हॉकर्स बैठते हैं तो सड़क और छोटी हो जाती है, व्हीकल्स के पास जगह ही नहीं होती यहाँ से पास होने। ये सिर्फ एक वन वे है, इट्स नॉट अ टू वे, ये वन वे है, मगर फिर भी इतना ट्रैफिक होता है यहाँ पर कि आप किसी डेस्टिनेशन से अगर इस रोड के बाहर आते हैं तो आपके ऑलमोस्ट 20 रुपीज़ होते हैं, मगर वहाँ से लेकर सिर्फ स्टेशन पहुँचने के लिए, रेलवे प्लेटफॉर्म पहुँचने के लिए आपको एडिशनल 10 रुपीज़ देने पड़ते हैं, क्योंकि उतना ट्रैफिक होता है, उतना वक्त लग जाता है। वहाँ से अगर आप चलकर भी आएंगे तो भी बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम वेस्ट हो जाता है, क्योंकि वहाँ पर इतनी ट्रैफिक होती है, उतने लोग रहते हैं वहाँ पर, बिकॉज यहाँ पर हॉकर्स बैठे रहते हैं तो लोग खरीदने के लिए खड़े हो गए रहते हैं, वो गर्दी एडिशनल हो गई होती है, ट्रैफिक इतना होता है, बसेस यहाँ पर आती है, बसेस अटकी हुई रहती है, तो बहुत ज़्यादा यहाँ पर बस डेपो, जिसकी वजह से काफ़ी ज़्यादा बसेस आती है, अटकती है, बहुत ज़्यादा लेट हो जाता है। हमारे जैसे जो कुछ लोग होते हैं जो ट्रेन से ट्रैवल करते हैं, तो उन्हें पता होगा कि हमारा कोई पर्टिकुलर एक ट्रेन होता है जिसमें हमको पता, हमारा एक ग्रुप होता है या हमें वहाँ पर चढ़, उसमें गर्दियाँ कम होती है, तो वैसा कोई पर्टिकुलर ट्रेन पकड़ने के लिए अगर आप निकलते हो तो इस सड़क की वजह से, इतने ट्रैफिक की वजह से वो ट्रेन मिस हो जाती है, जिसके कारण।
अक्षय चौहान, राइट नाउ वी आर स्टैंडिंग एट वन ऑफ द busiest road in Mumbai. As you can see behind me, there is a pile of garbage. Since last 2 days, the garbage is lying over there. Because of the rain, it has started stinking so much. BMC hasn't taken any action against this. We have complained so much for this, but no action has been taken place. Second thing, यहाँ पे hawkers अपनी दुकानें यहाँ पे लगाते हैं और ट्रैफिक बढ़ता है। पहले ही यहाँ पे हमें जगह नहीं मिलती चलने की, गाड़ियों को जाने की जगह नहीं मिलती, और यहाँ पे हॉकर्स अपनी दुकानें लगाते तो हमें चलने की भी जगह नहीं मिल रही है ठीक से। मैं यहाँ पे काम के लिए आता हूँ, बाइक लेके आता हूँ मेरी, लेकिन ये ट्रैफिक और ये हॉकर्स की वजह से मैं अपनी बाइक अंदर नहीं ले पाता। मुझे 15 to 20 मिनट्स वॉक करके अंदर आना पड़ता है और फिर मैं काम पे जाता हूँ।
Where people are unable to walk on the streets, people are unable to walk on the pavement, you have garbage on the streets, you have hawkers on the pavement. What can you do?
Yeah, actually it's because of all this that we in Agni have decided to have city watch programs across the city. In Agni, we have our ward coordinators in every ward, and through them, along with the other citizens, we want the city watch to go ahead. And what is the city watch is nothing but making the administration accountable and transparent. And unless the administration is accountable, we cannot expect better results. Similar is with the case of corporators also. So it's a three-way traffic that we have got to ensure that there is a complete homogeneity between the three, so that action is taken and not left over.
So tell me this. So if there is a problem, like the problems that all our citizen reporters have raised, they have video documentation of these encroachments. What can they do from here? How do they take this problem to the government?
No, we have to take this into account to the encroachment department of the ward.
So you write to them?
Yeah,
Make a written complaint?
you can even go to their office and show the video as you mentioned, and literally you can even at times, if the action is not taken, shame them. I mean, that is a way where you can repeatedly, if you follow up and do, I mean, maybe initially they may not oblige you, but once you keep pestering them and they get fed up and then action is taken. So that is where the pressure is from citizens is very important. And that is the reason of the City Watch program.
Sapna, very quickly, if you can come in over here, make a written complaint and keep following up. When you make this complaint, do you address it to the senior most official? Do you address it to the junior most official? How do you escalate this? What do you do?
I think the complaint should be addressed to the senior most official in the ward. It would be great if the citizens and the citizen groups can actually send in copies of that right up to the commissioner too. Because one is, it's important to leave a paper trail, leave a digital trail of the complaints that you're making with photographs, with videos, which are very effective in actually talking about the problem in a very factual manner, and then keep following it up accordingly. So I would say do it at the ward level, but send copies to all the relevant officers at the zone or even to the central office.
Right, so you need to make a complaint at the ward level. That is the smallest unit of governance. You have to start over there, but ensure that your complaint reaches every relevant official. Also, keep copies of all of those complaints that you make. Try and go and meet that official, like Sharad pointed out. Build a rapport with that particular officer. Keep calling them up, because encroachments is something that keeps coming back. It is not a problem that is solved in one go. Keep calling them up. Keep building the pressure. That is how you will solve these issues. And if you do manage to solve those problems, we will, of course, keep putting pressure on the relevant departments. We will also raise these issues with the governments and try and help you solve your problems. But if you also manage to solve your problems, do get back to us. And of course, any issue, remember, this is the show where your issues make the headlines. So if there is any issue that is troubling you, go out, shoot, send us a video, we will raise it, we'll show you how to solve that problem. Thank you for watching.